What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got 10 greatest NFL players from Alabama since 2000. Let's check this
10
out.
best players from
Derrick
the
Henry
University
better
of
be top 3,
Alabama
bro.
this century.
Real shit.
Number 10, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr
You
Gibbs,
give
okay.
Jahmyr Gibbs an inch of space, he will take a mile. When Gibbs
Where would y'all rank Gibbs as a
I
top
think
running back in the
he's
league? He definitely in my
Guy's
top
a
3.
human joystick, turbocharged blur that makes NFL defenses look like they're moving in slow motion. But Jahmyr Gibbs took an unusual path to Alabama.
I was happy as hell when he transferred to Bama,
where he
bro.
formed a lethal backfield duo with Jordan Mason before transferring to Tuscaloosa in 2022. But it
Yes,
didn't
sir.
take long for him to show that he was different. In his lone season at Alabama, he racked up over 1,300 total yards, led the team in receptions with 44 catches, and averaged nearly 6 yards per carry. Nick Saban used him as a Swiss Army knife, lining him up in the backfield, the slot, and nearly anywhere else he could cause chaos. And there was a 72-yard touchdown run against Arkansas where he hit 22.8 miles per hour, which could be illegal on some roads. And running backs shouldn't go high in the draft anymore, right? Well, the Detroit
Oh
Lions
my
certainly
gosh.
agree. They took Gibbs 12th over high in the draft anymore, right? Well,
Damn. Who was that got chucked over? Is
They
that
took
Brian
Gibbs
Cook?
12th overall in 2023.
Damn.
And by midseason, it was clear why. Gibbs was unstoppable. His combination of elite acceleration, shiftiness, and hands made him a nightmare for linebackers and safeties. His breakout game came on Monday Night Football against the Raiders when he exploded for 152
I remember
rushing
this
yards
game.
and a touchdown. By the end of his rookie year, Gibbs had over 1,200 total yards and 11 touchdowns. And in 2024, he bumped that up to nearly 2,000 yards and 20 touchdowns en route to a 15.
Like, imagine if he won't sharing
Gibbs is
carries
what
with
happens
Montgomery,
when you
bro.
mix a running back with a slot receiver and
I'ma
give him
keep
cheat
it a
code
buck.
level.
I feel like one of these years, Gibbs definitely gonna break for 200. Not for 200, for 2,000 rushing yards. Gotta be, bro. Because if he got 2,000 scrimmage yards with being like, you know what I'm saying, with splitting carries with Montgomery, imagine how he gonna be as a lone back.
Agility.
I can't wait till that day happen. I ain't gonna lie.
Game-breaking speed. His ability to stop, change direction, and accelerate is unreal. And it's not just his running. His receiving skills are up there with any back in the league. It's still early, but Gibbs is already one of the most electrifying running
Sonic and
backs
Knuckles.
Alabama has ever sent to the NFL. If he stays healthy, he's going to be one of the most dangerous offensive weapons of the 2020s. Number 9, Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs wasn't even supposed to make it this far.
I can't believe the Raiders really let this nigga go, bro.
Guaranteed path to the
Dumbass
NFL.
niggas.
He was overlooked, underrated,
All
and
because they didn't want to pay a
unpointed.
running back.
But when he got his shot,
Hey, I bet teams gonna start paying running backs now, bro. Real shit. You gotta thank Derrick Henry, Saquon, and Josh Jacobs for
By
that.
the time Jacobs
Because
was
Aaron
playing
Jones has got re-signed,
he
so
had proved he belonged with the
hey,
best.
maybe teams
But he
gonna
never
start
boosted the
respecting
offense
running backs
just
again,
because he didn't
like the
need
good old
to.
days.
Jacobs was a critical piece of Alabama's backfield rotation, splitting carries with Damian Harris and Najee Harris. And when the big games came around, downs against Georgia. Jacobs was never a full-time starter at Alabama, but that didn't blind NFL front offices from seeing that he was a first-round talent. The back selected, and he transitioned to the league seamlessly, piling up 1,150 yards and 7 touchdowns as a rookie, 6-yard walk-off touchdown in overtime. Jacobs isn't flashy. He's not the fastest guy on the field.
He
but
will
his
run your
vision,
ass over, though, I'll tell you that.
balance make him a nightmare to bring down. He runs like every carry's personal, breaking tackles in a way that can't be coached.
Shit, that run he had against the Seahawks this year, bro, almost took a nigga life, bro. Real shit. He was not playing, bro. Was handing out punishment.
And he's still got a few good years left. Not bad for a guy who was once sleeping in the back of a car. Number 8,
CJ Mosley.
Alabama's produced a
I
lot
fuck with
of
CJ Mosley heavy, bro. And he a former Raven.
Had the consistency of CJ Mosley.
Shit, that just makes
He's
me
not
even
the loudest
happier again.
guy,
Real
but for
shit.
over a decade, he's been the heart and soul of every defense.
CJ need to come back though, bro. Like, he a free agent now. Just go ahead and sign back with us, man. Real shit. Try to get this ring.
Two-time All-American, a 2-time national champion, and the 2013 Butkus Award winner as the best linebacker in college football. The Baltimore Ravens saw Mosley as the perfect successor to Ray Lewis, drafting him 17th overall in 2014, and he's lived up to the hype. He was an instant impact player, earning Pro Bowl honors as a rookie after racking up 130.
Oh my gosh, bro, what a
Over his
freak.
5 seasons with Baltimore, he became one of the best linebackers in the league.
We could definitely use a number 2 linebacker, bro, because Trenton Simpson, he ain't really been it so far. Horrible in coverage.
Making him one of the highest.
He just good in open space, bro. Because of his speed and shit. But we need another linebacker like CJ Mosley, real shit.
Him off the field. But by 21, he was back to being a tackling machine. With over 1,000 career tackles and 5 Pro Bowls, Mosley is one of the best linebackers of the past decade. He might not get the hype of some flashier defenders, but if you ask NFL coaches who they want leading their defense, C.J. Mosley's name is near the top.
He's a true leader of the game.
Number 7, Marlon Humphrey.
Marlo. Yes, sir. They don't call him All-Pro Marlo for no reason. Nigga, best cornerback in the league.
But
Real
Marlon
shit.
Humphrey has all three. Whether he's locking down receivers, punching footballs out like prime Charles Tillman, or chirping nonstop on Twitter,
It's my guy right
made
there.
a name for himself as one of the best defensive backs in the NFL. And he was born into Alabama football. His dad, Bobby Humphrey, was a star running back for the Crimson Tide.
Damn, them big ass shoulder pads, bro.
Overall,
Yo, I'm so glad I'm so glad the shoulder pads got smaller as we, as football progressed and shit. Cause this ain't drip right here, gang. Oh my gosh. Two big boulders on your shoulders is not it, nigga.
But Marlon didn't need family ties. As a 5-star recruit, he became a 2-year starter for Nick Saban, locking down receivers while helping Bama win the 2015 national championship.
Yes,
and the Ravens struck again. They have a ridiculous history of drafting elite defensive players. And in 2017, they kept that tradition alive by taking Humphrey 16th overall. He stepped into a stacked Baltimore defense and wasted no time proving he was the future of their secondary. In year 3, he earned first-team All-Pro honors in 2019.
Him and Nate Wiggins gonna be one of the best, probably the best cornerback tandem in the league come this season, bro. Real shit.
Giving the Ravens defensive flexibility most teams can only dream of. He's also made a habit of forcing fumbles, earning a reputation as one of the NFL's most aggressive ball hawks.
Yes,
in 2020, he forced a ridiculous 8 fumbles, the most by a defensive back since Charles Tillman in 2012. At just 27 years old, Humphrey's already made 4 Pro Bowls, 3 All-Pros, and he's still in his prime. If he keeps up this level of play,
this past season was his best season yet, in my opinion.
And one of the best defensive backs Alabama has ever produced. Number 6, Amari
Cooper.
Amari Cooper.
Where he gonna sign at, bro? He's still a free agent.
But when it comes to getting open,
I ain't gonna lie. Either the Packers or the Chargers need to pick him up. I ain't gonna lie.
Amari Cooper helped turn Alabama into the wide receiver factory it would ultimately become. As a freshman in 2012, he led the Tide in receiving yards and torched Notre Dame in the national championship game for 2 touchdowns. In his junior year, he was unreal, hauling in 124 catches for 1,727 yards and 16 touchdowns, winning the Biletnikoff Award as the best receiver in college football. His most ridiculous game? A 224-yard, 3-touchdown performance against Auburn in the Iron Bowl. Every time Alabama needed a play, Amari Cooper made it. So in 2015, he entered the draft as polished and pro-ready as a receiver gets. And the Raiders
he was a Raider a whole long time ago, bro, when they were still in Oakland.
All time. And since then, Cooper has been a walking 1,000-yard season. He posted back-to-back 1,000-yard years in Oakland, becoming the first receiver
Go back.
He posted back-to-back 1,000
I am so glad he cut this nappy ass shit. Oh my gosh.
Years in Oakland, becoming the first receiver to do that since.
But nah, Coop needs his praise though, bro. Like he's not being talked about enough. Especially like a lot of people have said a lot of great things about his route running, but bro needs a lot more credit than just that, gang. Like he's such a reliable target. Now he didn't have the the best season last year. Especially after they traded him to the Bills and shit, but
and after
still a great receiver. He's not what he once was, but
where even with terrible quarterback play, he remained one of the most consistent.
Still better than a lot of teams' #1 wide receiver.
Again to Buffalo in 2024, with over 10,000 career yards, 5 Pro Bowls, and still more left in the tank. Cooper's already one of the best Alabama wideouts ever. His game isn't about highlights; it's about mastery.
Shit, I think Julio Jones might be #1.
Number 5.
I ain't gonna lie, Pastor Surtain. Well deserved to be in the top 5, especially after winning Defensive Player of the Year.
Inherited his athleticism, instincts, and football IQ.
My guy right there.
As the best corner in the game and the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, he's already surpassed his father. Surtain arrived at Alabama as a 5-star.
I watched every game as an Alabama fan of Pat Surtain, bro. Real shit.
Expectations were sky high, but he never blinked. He was a full-time starter as a true freshman. And in his junior year, he was a unanimous
cry about that, little nigga.
Defensive Player of the Year and a national champion. His 2020 season was a masterclass in erasing receivers.
Bro, I missed that 2020 season, man. Like, just take me back to that year.
The Broncos took him number 9 overall
real
in
shit.
2021. And while some fans wanted a quarterback like Justin Fields, Denver got a DB who could help erase one. Surtain was elite right away. He caught 4 interceptions as a rookie, locking down star receivers and making it clear that Denver had a new #1 corner. By year 2, he was already in the best corner in the league conversation, earning first-team All-Pro honors. Surtain is a pure technician, and at just 24 years old, his Defensive Player of the Year trophy suggests he's the most valuable defender in the game today. If he keeps this up, he'll likely go down as the best corner of the 2020s, and possibly the best Alabama has ever sent to the NFL.
I could see that.
4, Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Minka
hits like a linebacker, covers like a corner, and sniffs
I
out
hate the him
turnovers
Pittsburgh
like a
though.
blood.
I ain't gonna lie.
And that's why he's been one of the most feared and respected safeties.
It's kind of forgotten that he was on Miami to start off his career.
Was complicated. It's not just about being fast or physical. You have to be smart. And
What made Miami trade him though?
Around like a queen on a chessboard. Over 3 seasons at Alabama, Fitzpatrick played practically everywhere. By the time he left, he was a 2-time national champion, a 2-time first-team All-American, and won the Bednarik Award for being the nation's best defensive player. Thus, the Dolphins drafted him 11th overall in 2018, hoping he'd be their next great defensive leader. But after misusing him in roles he didn't like, they granted his request to be traded in 2019.
Oh, he requested to be traded. Oh, it makes sense. Makes sense. Miami was dog shit.
He was making game-changing plays en route to his first All-Pro selection. Since then, he's been the backbone of the Steelers secondary, following in the footsteps of Troy Polamalu. With 3 All-Pro selections, 5 Pro Bowls, and a resume full of game-changing plays, Minkah's already one of the best safeties of his generation. And at just 28 years old, he's still building.
I'll put Minkah in my top 5 safeties for sure.
Alexander.
Sean Alexander.
MVPs don't get forgotten often, but somehow.
So I'm guessing Derrick Henry number 2, Julio Jones number 1.
Maybe it's because he played in an era flooded with amazing running backs. Maybe it's because his prime came and went in the blink of an eye. But for a few years in the mid-2000s, there might not have been a better running back in the league. And he's the second best back Alabama has ever sent to the NFL. Alexander was a record breaker in Tuscaloosa. He still holds the school's single.
Damn, nigga ran over his own offensive lineman, bitch.
291-yard performance against LSU in 1996. In his time at Alabama,
I won't watch it at that time, bro.
65 yards and 41 touchdowns, cementing himself as one of the best backs in Alabama history. And by the time he
I don't even know if I was alive at this time. Was it like before the 2000s, nigga?
Which inspired the Seahawks to take him 19th.
So I was born in 05, so
seeing him as the perfect back to replace Ricky Waters. It didn't take long for that vision to come true. By year 2, Alexander was already one of the best backs in the league, rushing for over 1,300 yards and 14 touchdowns. Over the next 5 seasons, he never had fewer than 1,100 yards or 14 touchdowns, establishing himself as Seattle's workhorse and one of the best goal.
Why ain't this nigga been talked about a lot more than
2005, the season that made him a legend and put him on the cover of Madden 07. Alexander ran for 1,880 yards and an NFL record 27 touchdowns. He won the NFL
27 tuds?
Seahawks to their first ever Super Bowl appearance. Alexander's vision, balance, and ability to find the end zone made him special. He had a knack for waiting for holes to open and then hitting them at the
nigga looking better than Barry Sanders now.
Without ever looking rushed.
But this nigga nice though.
But faded fast. The 2005 season took a lot out of him. He never cracked 1,000 yards again and was out of the league by 2009. But in his prime, he was an absolute touchdown machine, an MVP, and the face of the Seahawks' rise to prominence. His 100 career rushing touchdowns still ranks 9th in NFL history. He may not get the respect of some other all-time greats, but
yeah, because like when you hear like top running backs of all time, you always hear Barry Sanders, LaDainian Thompson, Adrian Peterson. Who else on that list? Emmitt Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like why don't they show my nigga some love, gang?
Prominent as any running back we've ever seen. Number 2,
Derrick Henry. Yes, Sirski.
The NFL isn't built for running backs like Derrick Henry. It's all about speed.
And the league fucked up putting him back, putting him right next to the best quarterback in the league, Lamar Jackson, bro. This year we gotta win a ring, my nigga. We gotta win a ring.
Running backs carried franchises
Got to.
on their backs. Henry arrived at Alabama.
This will be his second year, you know what I'm saying? Beside Lamar, bro, it's only gonna get crazy.
Record with an absurd 12,124 yards, looking like a grown man.
I watched Derrick Henry's Heisman season, though.
To be fair, he kind of was. Then in Alabama, he waited his turn behind T.J. Yeldon and Kenyon Drake. But when he finally got his shot in 2015, he took over college football. He ran for 2,219 yards and 28 touchdowns, won the Heisman Trophy, and carried Alabama to a national championship.
Bro, and it's crazy, like, how the fuck this nigga fall to the second round? Like, gang, if you win the Heisman, now, I understand, like, you know, people probably don't just go off the Heisman, you know, to draft somebody in the first round, but, bro, This nigga was going stupid, gang. How did he fall to the second round?
Every team in the NFL let Henry fall to the second round because apparently a 6'3", 247-pound monster with 4.5 speed wasn't worth the first-round pick.
Like a 6'3" running back with 4.5 speed is frightening, gang.
And the rest is history. For the first 2 seasons, Tennessee tried using Henry as a platoon back, which in hindsight was like buying a Ferrari. And
one of my favorite plays of his is still that play he had against the Jags, the 99-yard touchdown.
Henry broke out late in the season, and since then,
then probably like second best, probably to run against the Bills. Then probably when he stiff armed Josh Norman. That shit was funny as hell.
With the Ravens, he just put up the most efficient year of his career at 30 years old. Derrick Henry's built like a defensive end, but moves like a track star. And even at his age, once he gets past the line of scrimmage...
And that's like the main part of him, you know, getting more dominant is just him taking care of his body, bro.
This generation. With 2 rushing titles, a 2,000-yard season, and some of the most dominant playoff performances ever, he's already a Hall of Famer.
Facts.
Despite the NFL shifting
just need that ring, bro. Him and Lamar.
Derrick Henry is living proof that
they already top 5 at their positions already of all time.
Number 1,
real shit.
Julio Jones.
Hey, my guy Julio. I really wish Julio could have got a ring.
Gifted wide receivers of
but
all time.
The Falcons want to fuck around and choke a 28-3 lead.
In the 2010s, he was at a level of dominance that made him one of the most feared playmakers the NFL.
But I feel like Julio still be a future first ballot Hall of Famer, without a question.
Even Matt Ryan won an MVP. Amari Cooper was second in line among Alabama's great NFL receivers of the century. Julio Jones was the OG. As a 5-star recruit and one of the most hyped players in the country, expectations were massive the moment he stepped on campus. And he didn't disappoint. As a true freshman in 2008, he was the best receiver on the team, leading the Crimson Tide in receiving yards.
Oh my gosh.
In his junior year, he was virtually unstoppable, recording 78 catches for over 1,100 yards on a team that barely needed to pass. And if there was ever a signature Julio Jones game, it was versus Tennessee in 2010, where he torched their defense for 12 catches and 221 yards while playing with a broken hand. Julio was so special that the Falcons traded 5 picks to move up and get him at number 6 overall in 2011. Possibly the most aggressive draft trade of all time for a receiver, and it was worth every penny.
It paid off.
Even in the NFL, Julio was bigger, faster, and stronger than anyone else. By year 2, he was already a Pro Bowler, and by year 4, he was arguably the best receiver in football. His peak? Ridiculous.
Bro, and I saw like a clip on TikTok, bro. It said growing up is realizing that Julio Jones was never actually good. Nigga, I was about to spaz the fuck out. I'm like, nigga, what?
71 yards.
Bro, some niggas be saying the most outlandish shit. We need to start taking people's TikToks away. I ain't gonna lie, gang. We need to start taking people's TikToks away. Cause, bro, never say some dumb shit like that ever again.
And in 2018, he led the NFL in receiving again. And while he was never a huge touchdown guy, he was unguardable between the 20s. A 6'3", 220-pound freak of nature with 4.3 speed. Could bully defenders at the line of scrimmage, outrun them down the field, and outjump them for the ball. And he was just as good after the catch. He fell off a cliff once he hit 30, but with over 13,000 career receiving yards, 7 Pro Bowls,
Hall of Famer, bro. Hall of Famer
selections, Julio is a first ballot Hall of Famer. For nearly a decade, he was the gold standard at wide receiver. The perfect.
He's our generation's Randy Moss. Real shit. Shout out to bro. Hey, man. I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. You know, y'all let me know NFL videos y'all want to react to. Without further ado, I'm out.
I'ma make them feel me, make them people when they chow me. And if you don't know me, I'ma make sure that you know me. I hate to say it, but I really think I'm broke. But I know I'm chosen, I really know I'm chosen. I know I'm chosen. I was just lost a year ago, but now I'm focused. When good at sports, this microphone can be my trophy. Not taking drugs, I found a better way of coping.